Hello everyone, I'm your lovely host Cinnamon Walkin, and today I'm gonna be talking about a little spicy topic. I guess in a way. I'm gonna be talking about The Last of Us Part 2. Well, I'm also be talking about The Last of Us to kind of go with. This video is gonna have a lot of spoilers. Just a heads up. So if you're planning on playing the first game and the second game, I won't watch this. I would come back. More or less, it's just me about talking about my opinions. It's not really a review. I probably will like make a comment about how good I think the game is, but it's not a review video. I'm not a good reviewer. And also like don't expect. If you want to see like clippets of me doing The Last of Us, I'm shook to my phone camera a lot. Whoops. But besides that, um, I'm gonna get that up and rolling. I'm gonna get some more. Actually, I have one already kind of on my YouTube channel. It's just privated, but it's more or less just reaction stuff. But onto the video. So, I decided I was like, you know what? I'll talk about The Last of Us 2. Especially since, like, okay, so I've beaten it, like, probably a week ago now. So it's simmered in my brain. So like I've had time to think about it and process it. And most of the time when I beat a game, I like to watch like little Easter egg videos. I like to watch other people play it, see if they kind of had the same thoughts or viewpoints as me. I like to read the comments and or like if there was something I was confused about the game, like sometimes I'll watch like if it's a really confusing game, I'll watch like an explain, which I don't really think I need an explanation for The Last of Us, but um so I guess before I go into the second game though, I guess I could talk about the first one. Um More or less, the first one was about like you play as Joel, and in the very beginning of the game, it's not even like during the apocalypse time; it's before the apocalypse time, and it's kind of around his birthday. Um, it's either the day of his birthday or the day after his birthday, but like all that shit goes down, and then he ends up losing his daughter, and then from there they do a little bit of a time jump. I think it's like 20 years later. I think that's what the time jump was. And he's kind of just he was living life from then, and then he meets a girl named Ellie, and like so when you first play Joel, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of a he's a little bit of a jerk, or he's like a little rough, you know, because I mean he had to deal with like surviving, probably people like stabbing him in the back. He lost his daughter, and I can't imagine losing a kid. I wouldn't know what that's like, but it was probably pretty rough. So it probably made him like closed off. Um, and basically, it's just them like traveling through the country to like, cause well, one thing about Elliot is you find out she's immune. So you're trying to get her to these people called the Fireflies, to try and find a vaccine. So like then you get to where the Fireflies are at, and they tell you, or they told Joel that if they do this, she's gonna die. And he wasn't a happy camper about that. So like that whole last mission of the game. And then also like you can tell there's like I know at the beginning he said or I said that like he is kind of like rough around the edges. You can tell he started softening up because like kind of towards the end of the game he started being like, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to teach you this or we're going to do this" and all that stuff, and like you can kind of tell that Ellie's a little quiet. So I wonder if she kind of like figures she probably wasn't going to come back. I don't know. I doubt they told her that she was probably going to die when she got the vaccine. But you kind of notice that Joel evolved as a character like throughout the game. So like I think I think that's probably one of the reasons why I like the first game a lot is I kind of like that evolution, like someone who went to like, you know, being like a sourpuss to um, becoming kind of like wholesome and like really cared because like he went to calling her like kid to calling her baby girl. So I thought that was like I thought that was pretty neat and sweet and stuff. So like you end up killing the people, you end up killing the doctors because well they refuse to let her go. They like kind of point a scalpel at you, and you end up taking her out. And then kind of when the game ends, it's um I think she's kind of thinking she probably did something, but she doesn't really question it too much. So that's kind of like where the I guess kind of the second game starts. The because I know the second game it's kind of like Joel and he's talking to his brother Tommy. Um, which I didn't really mention that. I'm trying to get through the first game really quickly because it's mainly gonna be me talking about The Last of Us 2 and like what I kind of thought about it. So, I guess more or less though, I did like the game. I kind of like how they showed I guess the human nature, because like even though there was like really beloved characters like Joel and Ellie, and then there's Tommy, and well, some of the other characters were in the first game they die, so where you never see them again. But besides that, um, I feel like it just kind of showed like how humans are flawed and nobody's perfect. So I think that's like how I kind of like started kind of appreciating the game a little bit more is because I was like, you know what, that really like because eventually you end up playing Joel's killer Abby, which I'm not gonna lie, that really upset me because I really I got really attached to Joel. Um, Joel kind of reminds me of I guess he probably kind of reminds me of my dad a little bit, so maybe that's why. But besides that, I was just like, oh, why are they making me play her? Like, definitely at the very, very beginning when you first had to play Abby, I was like, oh, why? Why game? And all that jazz. And then, like, I guess once you get kind of like past the wolf phase and all that jazz, and you start like helping out they call them the scars, and well, they call themselves seraphites or whatever, I think, if I'm saying that right. I could be saying that wrong, but it was like her story was pretty good. And honestly, like to be honest with you, while I was playing Abby, I kind of forgot that like because at the beginning of the game they made you play Ellie, and you were going on a revenge mission to like specifically go kill Abby. So like you're all pumped up, getting ready to kill her, and I mean she just killed Jesse, and then they switch you into her, and I'm like, ugh. So, so when that happens and you play her, it's definitely very frustrating because she just killed another character you liked, and you're like, golly, this girl, and all that jazz. Um, but then you kind of like see stuff from her point of view, because definitely Joel wasn't a good guy, especially like so. Like I said, it was like 20 years later, and there's a bit of a time jump. Apparently him and Tommy, like his brother, they did some kind of like they did some bad stuff, and they even mentioned it in the second game that they did some like torture methods, and I mean, uh, and then if you play the first game, Joel, like before it was like a trap or something like that, um, that they would use to pull stuff like that. So he wasn't like a saint. I definitely really love him, and to be honest with you, I feel like in the second game, um, I feel like he evolved a lot. So he became like, he definitely became like a really good figure in my opinion for Ellie, and he became really soft because like he found Ellie and he raised or he saw her like a daughter. So I think it kind of like gave him a little bit of a reason to move on with life. So I think he was able to like finally be content with his life. Because I mean, people do change. I like to think people change. Um, some people don't always change, but like, and I feel like that's kind of like what happened and I seen like a lot of comments that was saying like, and which I even noticed when I was playing the game. I feel like when towards the end of the game when you do that fight with Ellie, um, and she's talking to Abby, she's like, "I can't let you leave," and I was thinking like she's kind of saying the same thing like her dad did when he said that he couldn't let her leave. When he was trying to take, but one comment I saw, which I agree, is basically like Abby became kind of like Joel, as in like she had her own little, because you get this character named Love, and in a way they're like a young kid and they have a bow and arrow and stuff like that, and they're helping you with their side. And then Ellie became a lot like Abby because she got really consumed with revenge. Of course, like unlike Abby, she became like the bigger person in the end. She didn't like kill her, even though like of course there was a time where Abby could have killed Ellie, and like Ellie did kill someone really important to Abby. Like I think she killed like, you know, well, actually I don't think she killed. I know she did because I saw it, but she killed her like love interest or something like that. So, or someone that was like really important to her. While Joel like, you know, killed her dad. Um, but I know there's like some things I wish that they would do kind of different with the story. I think the pacing was maybe like a little bit off because I know there was like some moments I got frustrated and it just the game it really hurt. Oh man, like I'm not gonna lie, like the end of the game it hurt, and then like in the middle of the game when they force you to switch that kind of hurt too. Um, and then I was kind of like agreeing with like I feel like they could have done some of the flashbacks a little bit different. Um, like I think maybe they could have done. Of course, I mean, I guess it would have made the ending a little bit kind of different because, like, I mean, one of the endings is kind of like a flashback. But I think it would have been cool if maybe you did a patrol and then they do the little party thing, and then, or, I saw someone else said that, like, maybe start off with the museum segment and then have Ellie wake up and then start the day off and stuff like that. Or, um, I also seen someone say, which it probably would have helped you, like, maybe be a little bit more compassionate towards Abby, is like maybe you should have played Abby first and then, like, maybe play Ellie and Joel, because then you would have felt, like, a little bit more conflicted. Because you kind of start off with Ellie and Joel, and everyone automatically, like, really loves them because they were, like, in the first game and all that jazz. And then, like, they just immediately, like, just shut him off. Um, so like I know there was like a few things that was a little bit different there, and then I know towards the very, very, very end of the game when they go back to being Ellie and stuff like that, I was kind of like a little sad about the ending and stuff like that. But some people were like making comments in the comments. Um, they were saying that like so when Ellie leaves Dina and stuff, she's not wearing her bracelet. Like I guess it's like Dina's bracelet or something like that. And um when Ellie goes back to the house, she's wearing Dina's bracelet. And I'm like, "Oh, so maybe her and her made up." That's great cuz if that's the case then to be honest with you, if that's the case, maybe her just going to that house one last time just to I guess kind of play with the guitar cuz she's missing her fingers. Um maybe it's a good way to just like clear that out. I think if that's the case then if that was like her kind of just going and just like kind of saying goodbye to that house, I feel like that's a good chapter for the game to end with Ellie and Joel. Like cuz well, I mean, I guess Joel's story is kind of over with unless they decide to do a prequel or something like that. Boy, like between that 20-year gap. But I think that chapter can be closed then. Cause like I feel like Ellie and Joel's story is kind of done, and I feel like it'd be kind of cooler if they go focus on like other characters. Like I guess in a way, if they really wanted to, they. Of course, I don't know how people would feel, because I know a lot of people don't like Abby because she killed Joel, and I mean, I have very mixed feelings. I don't like that she killed Joel, but like honestly, I don't think Abby is a bad character. Cause like I said, like I feel like, cause like literally every single character has their flaws. Like Abby was obsessed with revenge. Ellie eventually kind of became like Abby. She was like really obsessed with revenge. Um, there's some other characters that did some other stuff. I mean, Joel, he wasn't perfect. So, um, but like I guess if they kind of like the thing is like I don't know if Abby and Lev would still go to the Fireflies, or if they or if Abby maybe would just want to take care of Lev and just because I know Lev wanted to do something else other than the Fireflies, so they could do that. Um, Honestly, like I think maybe if they even move away from other characters, I kind of want them to kind of go into other countries because I'm really curious how other countries is handling like the cordyceps and stuff like that. Like I wonder if they're like evolved because they were saying like the shamblers and stuff like that are that is new in this game is basically like maybe it's the rain because I know it does rain a lot in Washington, Seattle area. So like there's a lot of water. So maybe that's why they evolved. So like I wonder. I don't know how well it would do in a desert. So it'd be nice if like maybe in a desert maybe it just doesn't even exist at all. That'd be kind of neat. And then or like how it's going in Russia cuz Russia's like super cold. So it's like freezing up there. So like I wonder how like it would evolve doing that or Europe or Japan or like all that stuff. I think that would be kind of cool if they like kind of like went around the world because I think that'd be pretty neat. Um, I guess if they were to do another game, also like maybe focus on one campaign, because like I feel like they were focusing on too many people in the second game as well. Because I really did enjoy playing Ellie, and Abby was pretty fun to play too. I know while I'm saying it, I'm just like, oh, but it hurt to play Abby as like the thing is I'm not gonna lie, I'm very mixed feelings towards Abby, and it's mainly just because she killed Joel. But like, I understand why she did it. It just it sucks. It sucks a lot. So, but I feel like they were trying to like I guess cram a lot in. I know it was definitely longer than the first game. The first game's only like 10 or 12 hours long, I think, and then this game was 25 hours long. But I think they were trying to tell a lot, and I know those type of games, most of the time those type of games aren't really meant to be long. That's why like the first one was probably only like 10 or 12 cuz like I haven't really played a super long horror game. I know Last of Us is technically a horror game where it's like a horror survival game, but like most of the time those games range from like 8 to 10 hours. Like they normally don't take long cuz well, I guess the first time you try and play, you're trying to get used to it, and then like once you get used to it, then you go back and play it. But um I know definitely when I hit Abby, I literally forgot that me being like it felt like I was playing like a totally completely different game, and like for a little bit I kind of forgot that Abby killed Joel and that I was Ellie and I was trying to kill Abby. The only time I would kind of slightly remember is like whenever saw Tommy shooting at me, and then um also whenever I saw certain characters, I'd be like, oh, that character's dead. I know they don't make it. So it feels kind of weird knowing that those characters are gonna be dead. Cause yeah, maybe it would have. As maybe it would have been better if you did play Abby first, because then you would have known those characters would have died, and then like maybe just not show that she killed Joel, but like you find and like, oh my god, I've been playing someone that killed Joel this whole entire time. That would have been an interesting twist. But I don't know. I didn't make the game. I'm not a really good, I don't have very good grammar. So, um, it's just like, I feel like there are like little things that they probably could have flipped around or did stuff differently to probably like help the story out a little bit. And maybe like, because I feel like they kind of just try to shove you, which a lot of people don't like just being like forced to like something. So like maybe they should have built up a little compassion a little bit and then it would have worked out better. But other than that, yeah, it was a good game. It was pretty. I definitely liked some of the gameplay mechanics because like I know if I go back and play the first one, I'm gonna be tempted to like go down all the way to the ground with Joel, and I know I can't do that. The only thing I guess I didn't like about Last of Us 2 is oh the animals. I'm just like oh it was sad, but that and I mean it was kind of like your basic revenge story. I kind of wish they would have mentioned like the fire. Well, I guess they did kind of mention the fireflies, but not really. And then like maybe the cure, or I feel like there would have been maybe like not as many people as Ellie. It wouldn't be that obvious, but I wish there would have been a little bit like more like oh maybe you could have bumped into another immune person or something like that. I don't know. I've been kind of because I doubt Ellie's the only person. If she is, that's pretty crazy. But I don't know. So yeah, I guess that was just my little opinion on Last of Us 2. Um, I know I do definitely like the first game more, and I think it's just because um, I kind of liked the story, and I kind of liked that it was I guess I like that it was more kind of towards love. Definitely the second game. Well, I mean, they did their job then. They were trying to, go for hate and stuff like that. But, like, I kind of like how Joel kind of evolved and became into, like, a softer character. And then also, I am that type of person that, like, I'll see a movie and I'll be like, yeah, I liked the first one better. And, like, sometimes I'll like the second movie better than the first movie. Like, when it comes to Alien slash Aliens. I definitely like Aliens more than Alien because Alien is alright. But like since this is Christmas season, Santa Claus with Tim Allen in it, I like the first one more. And God, what's another movie? I'm trying to think of that other movie where uh he says something about uh God, I know it's Mike Myers in it and it's like kind of in the 60s ish. He's like a spy. I can't remember, but I know I like the first movie of that. I wasn't really impressed with the second and third one. So that was probably some spicy takes. If someone liked any of those other movies more than the first one, that's fine. Feel free to debate about it in the comments. If you didn't like my opinion or didn't like my talk of it, or if you have like different views or different thoughts of what you thought about The Last of Us, feel free to debate about it in the comments now. Please be civil and be kind. I do read the comments. So, like, if I see anyone being a jerk, I think I can report. But, just please, uh, give, everyone's different and that's what makes the world awesome. So, like, everyone's unique in their own way. If everyone's the same, the world would be hecka boring. So yeah, just I know this video with my cell phone is fairly longer than the others, but yeah. Trying to get more videos out, so just hope you like this. If you didn't like it, then let me know. You can like or dislike the video. Whatever floats your boat. I hope all y'all have a good rest of your day. I don't know if I'll make another like video like this anytime soon, or I might try and make one for Christmas. I just don't know what I'm gonna do for Christmas, but we'll see. Maybe I'll come up with something before then. But anyways, see y'all later. Bye bye.